journeys to the U.S. border. One man in El Paso has heard about hundreds of those treks, and now his goal is to share them. Border reporter Anastasia Bolton and photojournalist Jose Sanchez traveled to the border to bring us this story. A warning, though, some of this content may be graphic.
Here on the other side of the border, Ciudad Juarez behind me, we had a car repair shop in the Valle de Juarez. We paid the quota, the bribe. They came by and shot the 3 mechanics. We took our things and immediately left the business behind. My name is Mark Lusk, and I'm a professor of social work at the University of Texas at El Paso. And over the past 12 years, I've spoken with over 1,000 migrants who have opted to come here because they felt they had to. They killed my brother, took this woman's 2-year-old boy, and threw him into the rail. Another man, they cut his head off and sent it to me in a box. One thing that I think people don't really understand is how much pain and suffering is involved in the decision to leave your country, to leave your village, to leave your family, to leave your job, not knowing even if you'll be able to survive that journey at all. I saw young men get on the train and demand of all migrants money. When they climbed over to our car, they threatened a woman with a young child and demanded a quota, or that's a payment. When she said she had none, they took this woman's 2-year-old boy and threw him into the rails of the train. They are inspirational to me, and they give me a sense that I have a duty to engage with them and to hear and accompany them in their journey so that they then can convey that to another audience in a time in American history when they're outright rejected. We presented ourselves at the Bridge of the Americas. We were detained and interrogated. We're not allowed to work or to travel out of El Paso. How are we supposed to survive? My daughter could not take it. She took pills and committed suicide. Wherever anybody's willing to hear me, even if they shout at me afterwards and tell me, "What, Mark, do you want to do? Just open up the border and let everybody in?" I didn't say that. Another person talking about her journey through the South. The local migra, or migration authorities, stopped me for a bribe. I had no money, so they beat me up. I was pregnant. I'm impressed by their resolve and their ability to continue to do that, and that's the story that I want to tell. We lived it one day at a time. We had to stay united. That's what this story is about. You ask me what keeps me going? My children, my wife, my brother. Fundamentally, it's human rights. Nobody deserves to suffer like these folks are suffering.
Professor Lusk reads the migrant stories he's documented to audiences across the country. Meantime, chairman of the Republican Party in El Paso shares this position about immigration.
I don't have a problem with immigrants. I want legal immigrants. If people are willing to work and develop a future, I think that's great. I think that's what this country is all about.
You can find Mr. Tea's full story at KENS5.com. There you'll also find other migrant stories read by colleagues at the University of Texas at El Paso.